All right. Well, namaste and like catch my family. Hey, and you just want to keep it going, you know? Yeah, no. What's up? What's up, planet Earth? I'm here with my brother JP, and
What's up?
we're here to just disclose all the truth.
Heck
That's
yeah.
that's what we're all about here at TeamLight. And my brother Jay, how you doing, bro? I know you got a lot of big things you just came back from, and a lot of big things that you're working on. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. It's been a beautiful ride taking this freaking helmet off, man. The last time we met, I was wearing this
Yeah, I
in
know.
Sedona, and it was freaking hot as crap.
I
And,
know. I know. You
and
were
you
always
were
hot.
telling me, I remember you telling me, hey man, brother, I wonder when you're gonna take that thing off, man. You got a beautiful face. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I was like, come on, show everyone your beautiful your beautiful face, man. What are you? Why are you hiding it?
And
So,
I said, I want to be just like you, Rion. Just like you.
hey, listen, we got the same style,
Yeah.
and Nino, I catch Nino wearing a white hat and blue sunglasses again. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Nino. No, but here in this disclosure movement, that's going on right now across the earth, my main thing is to not only discern between the information coming out, but also give someone a grounded approach on how to process it.
Yeah.
A lot of what I've noticed, and then Jay, we've talked about this, is there's a lot of people that experience really, exquisite things. Let's just say very things like, say you're in the military, right? And say you're a person. This is a lot of stuff I get. I get people that are kind of like don't have any of their spiritual gifts on, but are in the physical and they see something, right? And
Yeah.
they're processing and they're interacting with it, but they don't have the rest of the tools necessary to actually process it and deal with it. Rather, they almost have like a mental it's like your brain's trying to process everything that your entire neurological system was created to process, but you're just using your mind. So what happens is it's like you go into the basic stuff, which is what fight or flight, panic, fear, instead of rather if you had an energetic awareness of what you were doing and you have that training, like I said, like in the military, they have that program, the men that stare at goats.
Yeah.
I think there should be a basic protocol, even in boot camp, on how to process energy,
Oh yeah.
right? How to feel, because if you are going to be interacting with things that per se don't look human, how is that going to make you feel? And if you have a mission to accomplish, how do you accomplish that mission with interacting with a fellow consciousness rather than someone saying, well, this is me and that's you and we're different? And it's funny even saying that because here on Earth, us humans have a hard time just getting along with each other. You know what I mean? How are we going to get along with the beings that don't per se look human?
Yeah.
And I know, you've experienced this a lot. What are some of the skill sets and things you do to calm your heart rate, open your heart? You're already doing it naturally. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you're one of the chosen and one of the gifted ones in the military that have, had these opportunities, right? But what are some of the things for someone that maybe, ex-military that had these things that are in working in some of these underground dumb spaces? They've kind of tried to compartmentalize their memories so they don't get nightmares. But rather, what are some of the things that you do that actually allows you to process and work as a multidimensional being, knowing that your soul resides in this avatar, this suit, this beautiful body, this Christed body, right?
Yeah.
That we work on so diligently. And how to process that as we interact with other galactic citizens, and what are some baseline, right, things that everyone should know moving into disclosure that have helped you stay stable as you go through all of these interactions. I'm just trying to go like, what is the meat and potatoes of how do you stay grounded dealing with there's an ET 6 feet away from me? How am I controlling my mind, my body, and my spirit to not freak out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think
So,
you're an expert at
for
that. Go ahead.
example, last night I had a being in one of my rooms. I got a big house, and I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I went to one of the rooms and I saw a being standing there. And I opened the door. I looked at it, and I just closed the door and went back to sleep. And I couldn't see the face. I'm sure it was I felt like a negative vibe from it. So that's why I closed the door. I did not give it, I did not give it my energy. So, for example, okay, a painter, the first paint that he ever done, right, was terrible. After 100 paints, after 100 times he done it, you can see the progress. It's like that as well, controlling your feelings when you go through these experiences. So a person that has multiple of these experiences knows how to control themselves better than a person that's having it for the first time. I assure you that my first time experiencing these beings, I was overwhelmed. My heart rate was crazy, but I knew and I know how to control myself in front of these different types of beings. You don't give it mind. You don't give them your energy if you know they're negative. You don't give them your scare energy. I closed my door, and in my mind I was like, "What the heck is that doing in my room?" In one of my rooms in my house. I closed it. I did a prayer in my head, and I went straight back to sleep. I woke up. Nothing happened in my house or nothing. But if you interact with a negative being and you act scared, it's going to feed from that. But if you interact with a positive being, you can feel these beings. Like when you interact with these orbs, ETs, ant people. You told me that you interacted with a praying mantis type. So you just have to. It's a learning process, Rion. It's a totally type of learning process that you got to put in place in your heart and your brain as to connect. Not too long ago, what they found out that the heart has 40,000 uh, neurons that's connected, you know, with your brain and all that, and all this that's happening around the world now.
100%. Mhm.
What's happening with the solar storms, with these crazy stories about Three Eye Atlas, uh, doing perihelium, heading out towards Jupiter, where Juno's going to meet up with it in a little bit. And the activation of these solar storms is activating people on Earth. It's activating not just Earth, it's all the planets and the solar system on Earth. So you just have to learn how to control yourself. Like I gave that example with a painter. The first painting is chaotic, is crazy, is insane. But after you start learning how to draw, you're going to see the full picture. And that's the same thing with your feelings when you interact with these beautiful beings. You know how to treat them, you know what to feel for, and you don't give them your energy like you're supposed to. People say, yeah.
No, no, I couldn't agree more. The main thing I always realize is a spot check in my energetic field. A lot of us that have been at this for quite some time, I keep a very large field. Like, my auric field goes out, I don't know, 30 yards at least.
Nice.
Yeah, it does. And it's crazy that, being here in Sedona, I have all my pyramids on the property too. But what I've noticed is, I don't allow something to get that close to me. And if it does have malintent, as soon as it crosses that 30-yard ratio, there's eyes on target. So what I'm noticing with a lot of the interactions here, especially over the last 3 nights, I feel they're really sharpening us. I felt like I had contact 2 nights ago. I had dudes on the roof. I woke up at 3 in the morning, looked
Wow.
out the skylight. I saw a light, like a light chip over the house. I'm like, okay, so we have like it was so weird because my subconscious was already interacting and talking, and then it's
Mhm.
like I was like the Jolly Green Giant was waking up, like what's going on, and I'm just looking through my eyelids, for all the guys that have been on missions with me. When I'm super serious, like especially if we're transporting souls or I have to stay awake or whatnot, the main thing with me is I'll lay there. And actually, my friends have said, "Bro, you literally will sleep there with one eye open. It's freaky." They send me photos in the morning. I'm like, please delete the photos of me just one eye, just looking out my right eye, as I'm sleeping. So it's No, I stare through my eyelids and I stare through my third eye and I scan and I scan. So the main thing I'm getting is, yeah, with the mantid beings, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that with you specifically. Is with the mantids, for me specific, I can actually tell you some stuff about the mantids because they're different than the ant beings. Okay, and I don't know if the difference is mainly interstellar. I don't know if it's the Cassiopean thing or not God, their star system, it's not, I don't think it's Cassiopeia. Anyways, I was getting into the nitty gritty with talking to them about what their roles were here now. We have the Galactic Federation and, assisting us. And we have these different alliances. And what I actually see here as like a team leader on the ground crew, just like you and many of us out there in these comments,
Yeah.
is I'm still trying to figure out all the positions on the football team or the soccer team. I want to know who the fullback is. I want to know who the quarterback is. I want to know who to throw the ball, who the wide receivers are. I want to know who the defensive back is. I want to know the positions on the field.
Yeah.
And it's that simple for me. It's not, I want to know everything. No. I don't want to know everything about you and your whole data download of where you come from and all your stories. Listen, what is your position and your job right now in the present moment action? I want to know what your interaction is. I want to know what territory you're overseeing. I want to know how many fractals or how many energy signatures of your particular species you are managing and in what town, village, or city across the earth. Where is your hub? Or do you need any assistance from Galactic Command? What is it that you require? And I think that some of our jobs are changing. And I think that some of us are really getting ready for these leadership roles when we have contact. It's not going to be, it's almost like we're going to get tapped on the shoulder and said, hey, all those dialogues and all those beings you've been meeting over the last 10 years? I go, yeah. Would you actually like to meet them in the physical? Or I would like to say fourth density. I'll be like, absolutely. I'm like, absolutely. I've been sitting over here in fucking, what's that movie? I've been in Groundhog Day for 15 years. I would love to see what you guys are doing over here. Da, 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 da. I mean, it's difficult for some of us who've been awake. I mean, I know people have been awake 30 years, 40 years. They tell me stories, and these people are in their 60s and 70s. And I'm going, you've been awake that long? They're like, yeah, I've had to watch this for 40, 50 years. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, me waking up in 09, I felt like I was an OG and I was like, I know there are beings that have been older with some of us, in our gifts and whatnot. Sight is something they don't give everybody. The reason why sight, having your third eye on, is one of the last gifts you're going to get is because now you're going to have to not only feel something in your tum-tum or have your throat chakra on and have comms, but when you have your third eye on, and depending on what level or density that eye is on, let's just say, or your vision is, you're going to see beings that don't look human. And how is that going to make you feel? It's one thing. It not only breaks this story that we're in. I mean, forget the 3D shit and whatever the 7,000 years and the Babylonian money magic and all the stories they tell small children to make them feel comfortable as we are in, the simulation. But you start interacting with beings that walked the earth 15, 20,000 years ago that are doing a spot check here, and you're supposed to act like an adult and have an adult conversation. They want to know what's going on the surface. They're not here for the storybooks and the names. They want to know, how are you guys doing right now? Is there anything we can assist with in facilitating what your brothers and sisters need right now? And it's weird because you're holding this going, you have to switch that part of your brain off. You know what I mean? You can't play but this is what I've been told. They're like, no, we don't want any of that. Listen to it's like a heart-to-heart transmission, right? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the trifurcation? How many of your brothers and sisters are up and operational? Have they gone through their tests? Have they done their purging? Are they leaving that shadow realm behind? What choice are they making? So I know as we get into this whole thing with disclosure, what are some of the interactions you had with the ant people per se? And what are some of the interactions, that you found are really relevant? Because here's the thing, Linda Moulton Howe, I talked about this with Tone. She says there's three main species fighting over our planet. You got the Nords, the Greys, and the Reptilian, right? And I'm sitting here to myself going, does no one read a Hopi prophecy? Like, didn't all the ant people take the people underground that were from the Maya that, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Maya and the Hopi, same genome, same
Yep.
genetics. It's their people. So when I'm sitting there going like, what about the mantids? And if you guys have ever been to Asia, I have. When I was in China and I was gridding from Shanghai south on the train, every single person I saw, one of their higher selves was a mantid. So I don't know what this whole smoke screen shit is, JP. I don't know why certain species you're allowed to talk about and why the other ones you're not allowed to talk about. What interactions can you share that kind of facilitate your interactions with these beings? Because I'm into any being that's here to help the planet evolve. So I just wanted to say that, what do
Yeah.
you feel about that?
See, some people um believe that this is a just a one day thing. You interact with these beings one day and that's it. You already have contact. It takes a lot of experience to communicate with these beings. And once you have that communication with the ant people, I communicated with them twice, and I went with other soldiers. I went with other soldiers, and we all had a role to play in order to interact with these beings. Everybody had their own type of, not superpower, but their own type of specialty. I can literally, like, they had me in the fields in Eglin, all right, and I could summon orbs and I could summon ships, and then across the street we have a person with a dog whistle technology that can also manipulate these orbs once you bring them down, not manipulate them but communicate with them, and they do maneuvers and they fly off. What I'm trying to say that it's a training that goes behind this when you start interacting with these beings, and they train with you and you train with them. And what I felt with the ant people when I first met them, it was a type of training of communication of where humanity is at. So yes, they were looking at us like a type of representative, but yes, I don't represent the whole world. I'm not saying it like that, but when they looked at us, we had to behave a certain way to represent humanity, and they saw that, and there are like thousands of years more advanced in medicine and technology. And I told people this, it could be a possibility that the ant people are confused with grays, because you have to understand that these ant people that live in the inner earth, some of them separated and went to space. And when they went to other planets, right, they went to other planets. Other planets have different weight, different sizes, different animals that they have to adapt for hundreds of thousands of years. So if they come back, they're going to come back different. They're going to come back looking different. The same way there's Chinese people, Oriental people, Japanese, or people in Africa with dark skin, or people in India that look with a different complexion. It's the same thing with ant people, Nordics, and all these other beings that we interact with. They look different in different regions in inner earth. That's how it is. In Brazil, they're smaller. you know like, for example, look at the in Mexico, the Mexicans, they're shorter than
Mm,
us, Americans. You go to Europe, they're taller than us, so humans are different if we look at them in a different way. So these ant people,
mm,
they just treat you in a loving way. It's different, and they taught us medicine. I just posted in my Instagram a medicine that I learned from them that they have been using for thousands of years for immunity, and I just
mm.
posted it in my reels. They have been using this for thousands of years, regular medicine that can help the immunity, and a lot of people have been feeling under the weather. So there's things that you learn when you interact with these beings, Rion.
No, I couldn't agree. My thing is that I'm trying to get. So let's talk about some of the interactions that people are really getting. Listen, I don't know what's been going on lately with me, but I feel like I'm like Walter Cronkite, and I'm like, listen, let's talk about the real shit. Like I don't know. Like so, here we go. Some of you guys are getting contact at night. The beings are standing around you. You're having one of your higher selves directly contact and talk to these beings. My main thing is obviously, the benevolent ones, the ones that are there. Only those beings which exist in the highest order of light may stand in my presence. 4 times, 4 directions. Light your sage, light your dragon's blood, or whatever that may be for you. And for me, they're not asking me questions, bro. They are educating me. All right, so this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to take place. This is where your friends and family need to go. This is what the main priorities are. I feel like energetically people are being organized. I feel like we're at Hogwarts and people are having to choose which group they're in. Are you team Gryffindor or are you team Slytherin? I swear it's that. You really want to? I'll break this thing down so simple. A fourth grader can understand what's going on multidimensionally right now.
Yeah.
They want to know with your own free will what kind of reality you want. And then they are looking at you and they're processing, okay, so this soul, right? Because they can see your soul. That's the craziest thing about this game is that we can't see who we are, right? And I know a lot of very powerful channelers and healers out there and people that, do sessions. Listen, you can ask me anything about you, okay? I can answer any question you want, minus your social security number, right? But you ask a question about yourself and it's like, like, I don't know. It's like, I know we're big, powerful beings, but it's like when it comes to your own personal story, it's like that's the Christmas present you're not allowed to open. And as we start to unravel this Christmas present of who we are, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Okay. I've gotten to a certain place and I want everyone on earth to know this. Knowing all the answers is not going to make you happy. Okay. Knowing who you were in every past life is not going to bring you joy. Okay. What brings you joy is in the moment right now, and is in your inner child, in your heart, in your chest, happy and excited for what's to come. I want everyone on earth to know the most exciting thing that you guys can be. I mean, imagine being a little kid and your parents are taking you to a theme park. And you're in that car and it just parked and you're hearing the rides and the smells of churros in the air and you're jacked out of your mind, right? That's the frequency or energy a lot of us need to get back to, because that's the frequency we're going to have to match, to vibrationally match with beings that only come from their hearts or only operate in a space of joy and excitement. Wow. This is not a belief system. What I'm trying, every molecular structure of your body has to vibrate faster. So I'm trying to explain this to you in a dense form. Like, why are some people getting contact and some people aren't? Well, I'm like, well, imagine the first time you were on a Sea-Doo by yourself in a lake and you hit the gas and closed your eyes and put some 80s music on. And you was like, sweet dreams are made of these. That frequency or vibration you're feeling right there. Imagine trying to hold that all day long. Okay. Wow. So what I'm trying to say is they're trying to utilize me as a tool to explain to the public, what does it mean to have a vibrational match to a reality of which you want to go there. And then we got to deal with all the other things, right? When we come out of that state that are around us, people in pain and trauma and all this weird shit going on across the earth. So we're just trying to give you a juxtaposition here of, it's not just a belief system. Do the cells in your body believe they deserve to exist in a higher realm, a higher frequency? It's not just knowing you come from that place, but what is the vibratory state of that place? And I think that's kind of like what I'm trying to explain. You know what I'm saying, Jay? It's like, oh shit, it's like that. I'm like, do you guys remember the joy when you were 9 years old? Okay, let me tell you the level of joy this was for me. I was 9 years old. Sega Genesis had just come out.
Oh, man.
Dude, fucking Sega Genesis, bro. Okay. I was all Nintendo. My dad did this bullshit, I'll go look behind the tree. I got like a sweater and some socks and shit, right? I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. He's playing it real. Oh, well, maybe Santa didn't get it for you this year, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, man, all I wanted was a Sega Genesis. And all of a sudden, they do that. Hey, man, like, what's that over there in the, back behind back there. What's in that box? You know, my eyes light up. And I went back there, ladies and gentlemen, and I grabbed that box and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like freaking out, right? Open it up. Fucking Sega Genesis, bro. The amount of joy that went through my body, I could not replicate. If you parked 3 Ferraris outside and said, they're all yours, take them, I can't generate that level of happiness I felt in that moment. I can't. You give me a yacht and it's like, it's a 200-foot yacht. I can't do it. It's not real. So what I'm trying to explain to you is it's something you can't fake.
Yeah.
You can't fake it. It's not like, oh, thanks for the, you know what I mean? It's something that once you feel it, and I know each and every one of you out there across the earth, you have one moment and you're like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about. That moment. If you want to say that moment is the bottom floor of 5D, and then you have to ask yourself, shit, I don't know if I can get back to that place. I mean, I've gone through so much trauma and I'm an adult now and all these experiences and responsibilities and all. And the truth is that moment right there, we each have that one moment where you go, I know what he's talking about. I have that one reflection. So what I'm trying to say is that in your daily life, try to get through your breath work and your clearing and your meditations. Try to get people use music. Music is fantastic for that. You know, put your headphones on and just go to another realm. What I'm trying to say is that start working towards that emotion of bliss or that realm or that vibration. Okay. That's going to help you when you're interacting with a lower dimensional being or even a mantid or a gray. I'm not even a gray, but like an ant person, let's just say. You slam that energy out of your chest. Like, what's up, homie? Hey, dude, let's get it poppin'. And you are raw current from source. And they're like, holy shit. They're like, what? Whoa, they got those walking around down here. I'm like, yeah, we've been sleeping a really long time. I'm here to tell you, yeah, we're here. Real angelics and those real soul kids, those soul sparks are here. Our job together, right, is how do we get our friends and family back into that place?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you go there, you can talk to anyone in the universe, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking about the primal creation of the universe itself is vibrating through your soul. Hey, bro, what's up? What's popping? I don't care if you got antenna, you got gills. They know that frequency. You're like, oh shit, that's one of Source's kids.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. Please don't shoot lightning bolts out of your eyeballs. I'm like, I am so excited you guys are here. We've been waiting for you. Let me go ahead and set the table for the magical experiences we have here on Earth. So there's something in us, and I just want you guys to remember that joy, never let it go. Brother, how do you feel about that? And maybe does that help you when you're interacting with others? Because I know they scan your heart. And I know you were chosen because you could handle it. Explain to the public and people that may be in the military why certain beings are chosen to operate and interoperate with other, galactic species, and why some aren't. You know, the ones that are chosen have their hearts on and can still communicate on that heart to heart level. You know what I mean? That's our true telephone. So
let me give everybody my happy moment. One of my happy moments. I like what you did there because it takes people back. I was in upstate New York, and right in front of me, brother, right in front of me, I had The Undertaker, the Bushwhackers, and Hulk Hogan, and they all shook my hand,
dude,
for the first time, brother. And Hulk Hogan shook my hand. He was like, "Make sure you take your vitamins, brother." Bro, that was the most amazing time. And then I go to the Bushwhackers, and they get my head and they start licking my head. I'm like, bro, oh, this is amazing. It was the best time of my freaking life. And I was actually 9 years old when that happened in upstate New York. And
that's what's
time,
up. Yes,
bro, that was the most freaking amazing moment. And then the second time was my daughters were born. When I hold them for the first time in my arms and I look at their face and my tears, it was a joy that you can't replicate. And I think when you interact with these beings, it's also something that you can't replicate. It's a joy. it's a feeling that you was not wrong your whole life. That if other people knew about this and all that, about these beings interacting with us, the interdimensional realm, the spiritual realm, the consciousness, how consciousness works, and how far your consciousness can reach other people and you can change other people's life, and how you being here on earth, chosen for this 100 years that we're here, we're all stuck together, we're all here together doing the same thing. We're living, we're eating, we're shitting, we're just doing the same thing, Rion. We're all doing the same thing for 100 years, or 104 years, however years you are in this time frame. And it's just a pleasure that I was chosen to be with all these beautiful people that I have interacted with, and all these beings that I have interacted with. It changes your perspective of how you see reality. It changes how you see the people around you when you have these experiences. And I know a lot of soldiers that they didn't take it. They couldn't take these experience. And I don't want to say this, but the majority rate of people that uh, go away is people that have been through these experiences, and they can't talk about it and they can't express what they were feeling. And this happens to a lot of celebrities or high people that interact with these beings as well. You just can't take it, and you just have to go. You get that feeling, and that's terrible, because people, I think there's a way to cope with it. You have to talk about it. Look what we're doing right now. We're talking about our beautiful feelings, but you also have to talk about the negative things that you went through, you know, with these experiences. And
Yep.
the main thing is talking, Rion, talking to your
Mhm.
friends. Hey, bro, what's up, man? Hey, I had this bee in my house yesterday, and I felt kind of weird. So, keep me in your prayers. It's just weird that this happened to me. Talk about it. Talk. You
Right.
have to have a friend. You have to have a person to talk about these experiences with. If not, it's gonna eat you from inside, because you go out to the grocery stores and you look, and you're like, man, if freaking people knew about these experiences, if people knew about these beings, if people knew about these technologies that we have, we don't even have to freaking drive this freaking car. We can grab a portal and make it somewhere else. Teleportation, time manipulation. It just
Mhm.
changes you, and you have to live two lives sometimes, Rion. Live the civilian sector military life, and then live the experience life of
Mhm.
experiencing these things, and keep it to yourself, or keep it with you and the friends or everybody that's looking here right now at this video that we're doing.
Right.
It's That's how it is. That's how you have to take these things.
Mhm. I couldn't agree more, brother. And that's gonna be my new thing. And I like to, I don't know, brother, get on stage. No, listen, I'm so jacked. But
Bro.
that's really, if we're all energy, right? Everyone talks about this, we're all energy, we're all energy. But then I'm like, well, did you ever try to expand your field when you're interacting with the being? And see, I'm kind of funny. Like I want to get to know you. So like when a being comes and talks to me, like I kind of expand my field and I'm almost like, hey, yeah, come a little closer. I want to get to know you. Like I don't know. I feel like my energy goes out and it's starting to penetrate their field. Like it's not like your energy goes through things, ladies and gentlemen. So
Oh yeah.
I've had some things show up to me, that maybe had malintent, and all of a sudden, since I know they were being controlled like a drone, I went into them and I kind of took control of what was going on. And I started looking around at, oh, so who sent you? I got one and I'm holding it and I'm going, hey, where'd you come from? Who sent you here? So I'm turning into like JJ Snooker. I'm like, hey, let me tell you something. Get over here. They got me quarantined in Sedona. They won't let me interact with you. Come a little closer so I can get my hands around you. Like I
Bro.
feel like, like I want to squeeze you. There's something in me that is an energetic thing where I feel that maybe that angelic in me or maybe that higher version of me has gotten to a place where I want my energy to kind of cut loose and just rip through everything, in the sense of I just want to free everyone from this weird, shitty sci-fi movie dream,
Yeah.
this brainwashing shit. And I really don't care what religion or group or creed or tribe or vibe you are.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to say, if they're going to say you guys have the power of free will, well, then let's really take a look at what that is. Because what's happened, ladies and gentlemen, across the earth, they took away your options.
Yep.
So they'll say you have free will, what, to go left or go right? What if I want to go up? What if I want to go up at a horizontal, jackass? I don't want to go left or right.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that, and then they play the gray area and say, oh, you guys still have free will. I was like, I want to go up at a 90-degree angle. I want to go up this direction. It's not on the map. Why are my choices so limited? And I think that's the main key with the mental control over this planet. They are limiting your options, thus still playing within the guise of free will. But what they've done is, we used to have 120 options, let's just say, per incarnation. Now there's like 6. And now there's going to be 4. It's like they keep trying to compress and control you guys. So I'm just trying to say every single human being on this planet is a multi-dimensional being. Okay. You guys exist not only in the physical, but many different dimensions simultaneously. Parallel realities and dimensions also exist. And I think that, the key stickler for me is, who are you in each of these dimensional spaces? And are you aware of yourself? When I truly got kind of controls over my suit and my consciousness, when I started to really grow up, was when I started to interact with my higher selves. I knew what they like to eat. I spend time with them at night in each of their different dimensions. I know what their job titles were. I knew what their names were. I knew what their friends were. I knew my girlfriend's name in the 6th dimension or 4th dimension. I knew who I was seeing in another dimension. I started multiplexing and reaching out of this game. It's almost like a butterfly, and I started punching holes in the cocoon. So
Wow.
I wasn't out of the cocoon, but I was
You're already
punching a hole,
flying.
and I was like looking through the hole. I'm like, hey man, what's going on over here, man? I started punching holes in the cocoon, and I started looking through the hole. So I think for everyone out there, as you guys start to grow and break these damn cocoons, this unconsciousness that
Yep.
we've been wrapped up in, it's something that each and every one of you is going to experience in your own way. And that's just something for me. Let's talk about some. I want you to go in. I want to talk a little bit about the Celestials. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, JP, and I wanted you to also share something. What are some of the beings that you really appreciate assisting you on your journey? And what are some, let's just say species? Give them kudos. What is a species that you have met that you were like, dude, they're dope? You know what I mean? Like, that is a rad being. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Celestials and what's been being cleaned up down here.
Yeah. The beings I have interacted with was the Nordics. They teach me a lot. They teach me of where humanity is going. And I can't get into the full detail and talk about it as much, but I know what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future because of the Nordics. They have gave me a knowledge on certain things. And, sometimes when I do put my videos out, I give little hints of what might occur and all that, just to get people ready. But the Nordics, they have treated me always nice. I have interacted with the ant people, the twice that I interacted with them, and these interdimensional realm beings that sometimes appear in my house. Sometimes, like you said, there's a frequency that we don't see that they're involved in. And right now in the room, you can have beings roaming around your room, and they could be good, and they can teach you a lot about the spiritual and interdimensional realm. And if you fix your spiritual body, you can interact with them and talk to them, and they can teach you. Some people probably in the past used to call them angels, or for me, they're still like angels. Yeah, they're spiritual beings, but they're similar to Nordics. They interact with you. They can appear in front of you and talk to you and teach you. And I call them angels. They treat me like if if I'm worth something, like if I'm here to do a mission. So not too long ago, I did an update with Dr. Sala about uh, a being that I interacted right behind my woods. They come as far to my house to the wood line that they talk to me, and then they phase out and they disappear. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What the heck was this? I check, babe, have you gave me some crazy shit? Like, have you gave me some shrooms or anything like that? No, we don't do that stuff here. She's religious. I'm like, man, I just had a weird experience interacting with these beings in the freaking woods. She's like, oh, they're probably bums. I'm like, no, bums they don't phase out of existence. So I even went to the hospital to check my brain and do a CAT scan because I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm like, hey, something's going on. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. So they try to put me on freaking pills. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not going on pills.
Right.
But I have pictures and I have proof, and that's what matters. And I have been invited to Washington, D.C. with my handler. He wants me to go probably to Washington to talk to a couple people up there that have been asking for me. And also, I got offered a new job. I won't say what type of job yet to the public, but I told you.
Mm.
So it's been a big ride, Rion, taking my mask off. It has opened a lot of doors.
Right.
And I think my experience also has, I think, expanded because I have connected with people in Brazil and in Europe that have had similar experience working in the military, in their military.
Right.
So not too long ago, the government of Brazil, I don't know if you know this, they posted online about ETs, about aliens and all that. And not too long ago, like a month and a half ago, Trump posted about the med beds. So we're heading somewhere, Rion, and people need to be ready about what's going to come and what type of disclosure and what type of technology is going to be revealed to not just the United States, but the world. The world is going to change in a massive way, and people need to be ready. And all these solar storms, this is nothing about what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of changes in technology, in medical breakthroughs that is going to change our lifespan to like 120, 130 in the next 5 years, implemented with AI that is going to create blood types, medication for certain blood types that is going to make people last 100 to 120 years in age and maybe longer throughout 20 years.
Yes.
So it's going to be fun, bro. I can't wait.
Listen, I'm ready to go. I just I'll be hi. TeamLight's here. What's your guys' jobs? We retrofit castles. We buy castles all around the world. You guys, you guys have. I have actually spent a lot of time on this because the old castles, some of them are actually built on ley lines. Wow. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why don't we just retrofit all the old castles that are broke down, and we'll 3D print, fix them, and then just use different types of power units and turn them into beacons of light in every single country. Like, anyways, that's one of my little tidbits. That's awesome. Another reason why you had to go out into the forest to see them, people need to realize something. The electromagnetic field from the electrical grid distorts certain frequencies from interacting with you. That's when they'll say, you ever get this? Hey, come outside. It's not that the angel can't come inside the house. Now, what they're saying is come outside the electrical grid. Your walls are literally full with copper wires sending frequencies, and a lot of them have distortions. So when something asks you to step outside, mind you, a large, sexy Nordic is, don't go outside if it's like a gremlin, hey, like, come for me.
I
didn't say. Symmetry is,
they're beautiful.
Symmetry is everything in the universe, just to let you know. Okay. So, but I do notice that sometimes I have to go in the backyard away from the electromagnetic grid and the electrical grid. And to let you guys know that they're already finding that in the houses that burned down in Northern California that had, and with the smart city shit, there is a certain cable that they're using for all the power. And it's not just electrical, it's a yellow cable. I forget what it's called, but it also sends information. It's not just for electrical, it actually sends data back and forth.
Oh, wow.
So they can remotely mess with your house. And they said they can remotely light shit on fire in your house through this cable, supposedly. But mind you, this is a guy who's an electrical worker who's like installing this shit going, yo, this thing doesn't just transmit electrical to your house. Yeah. There's information going back and forth. So just pay attention to that. If you guys are, you know, awesome like you can put a breaker on the inside of your kitchen and then plug your appliances into the breaker, so they can't overload your stuff. Just giving you a heads up on that. Celestial stuff. Okay, so fourth dimension is being cleaned up. This is what's happening right now. There are agents. Some of you guys that have already graduated. My 4D graduated 2 years ago and change. My 4D now, who's in Ascension School with you guys. Some of us have missions. Here's the missions. We are seeking out demons in disguise or archons in disguise. And we're basically, all I can say is this. It was like 17th century. It was almost like everything looked like Tartaria. I locked onto this one demon that was like the head of a family. And they time jumped us back into the present moment. The same demon was in charge of a corporation. Oh, wow. One of the 6 corporations that run the planet. And we got him outside, and I called him out, and I was talking to him. I was like undercover. And as soon as we got him alone, I grabbed him. And this is what I said to him. I said, you've been running from Jesus for too long. It's like these beings know who Jesus is. Yeah. They know who Yeshua is, and they've been running from him for hundreds of years. So what I'm trying to say is that was something very personal to me, and I wanted to share it. I don't give a shit. Some of you guys are angelics, and we're rounding these jackasses up. So these beings that are thinking that they can hide, it's the same jackass from 200-300 years ago. It looks exactly the same, mind you.
Yeah.
Now he's in the present moment in 4D walking around. He's in charge of a corporation. And all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, that's really cool to meet you. Yeah. As soon as he was talking to him, I just grabbed him and this angelic ping went off. Like, boom! It was like an alarm went off. I got one. So I wake up in the morning and I'm talking to Tone. And I go, hey man, I feel like I'm one of those like arcade, you know, those arcade games that go and like grab the little like toys. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm grabbing jackasses and I'm like, I got one. Jesus, come get them. Like, I don't know what this is, but some of us angelics out there, you guys may be doing stuff similar to what I'm doing where we're hunting these dudes down. It's like, no, you're not going to be able just to change your name and change your face and still be a jackass affecting humanity. You have to understand 6 corporations run the entire planet. All the companies that you go and buy food from, gas from, air from, electrical from, they're still owned by the same 6 companies. Or how about every single company on the stock market is still owned by one company, guys? What I'm getting to, these things are being adjusted behind the scenes, okay? And I just wanted to share that with you. Mind you, I did not know what was going on until it was game time. I had no idea. But I'm telling you, there's some cryptic stuff coming out from some of you guys that is celestial, that is angelic, that is a Nordic thing, where we are the ones who are actually allowed to go in and grab these dudes. Because, I mean, why couldn't we just call in backup from Andromeda, who could clean this up very, very quickly? And I'm saying to myself, why? There's something about our soul group, JP, myself, all of my TeamLight family. We have gone through multiple incarnations together. Okay? They say that this generation right now, this 3-generational swing, why we're so into technology is that we were the cyberpunk or the highest level of Tartarian engineers before the last fall that reincarnated. And before that, the engineers of Atlantis and Lemuria. We're the same graduating class that's going through time. And my thing is that I think a lot of us already graduated. What are we doing now? We're helping a lower graduating class, and we're trying to steer them around potholes so they don't get caught in the same trap potentially we did. Okay.
Like
That's
you
all
said,
we're trying to
wake
do.
them up. You know, we got
Yeah.
we got to
Hey,
wake 'em
don't
up.
do that again. You don't have memory of it. Some of us do. Don't do that. So I know in your dream time and in your interactions, this is the one thing I always wanted to talk to you about. We can end with this, but bro, tell me about the underground giant that was in the sarcophagus and you guys went in there and the thing sat up and then disappeared and sat up. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because here's the thing that strikes me. Do you know there's an episode on Gaia right now where they show the symbol that I guess Hitler used all the time, but it was the dark sun. It's like a circle and it has all the etches on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The essential sun. Here's my thing about that. There's something about that symbol that I remember, but I also remember a conflict. I remember two sides fighting, the gold team and a black team. And I remember that particular symbol, I remember being on the night side, mind you, was not the positive sides beings that use that symbol whatsoever. But I'm remembering like what specifically did you catch any symbols on that sarcophagus? Did you catch anything about the Nephilim or because I'm getting, I don't know why I'm being forced to learn this. You guys, I'm being forced to learn every single name of the angels, every single position they held, every
Yeah.
single fractal of the angels. I'm like you normally like ET sci-fi guy. Okay. I
Similar to
rather
what Solomon, he had the ring that controlled all these angels.
right. So my thing is that I'm like, why am I keep getting drawn to learn this is what this angel's name is. This is what he's responsible for. This is what he's really good at. Like, it's not something I even really want to study, but it's something like I need to know because these characters in these biblical stories, right? These names, and by the way, these were real beings, right?
Yeah.
I need to know again, like, yo, is that something I can call upon to deal with this or deal with that or clean this up? I'm trying to, again, figure out the playing field that we have access to. So, what do you have to say about? I know that was a loaded question, but what
Yeah.
are some of the vibes you felt when you were in there? How old did you think it was in your gut when you
Oh,
were in there? Like, go ahead, tell me.
you can feel that it was thousands of years, but it's weird because surrounding the sarcophagus, surrounding that thing, there was like a shield, right? And I remember one of the guys, he threw a rock into he threw it and the rock just disintegrated. Like, I think time runs different inside the tomb. And when you saw the being, he had a red beard, and it wrapped around, like if it it did not look dead, but he was moving. You could see his breathing in slow motion. So I'm like, what the heck? We all saw it. Our jaw dropped. And this was big. It was like a 10 foot, around there, 9 foot giant. His hands were like this. And it's totally connected to the interdimensional realm and spiritual realm. And they were protecting this sarcophagus. I think I'm saying that right? Sarcophagus.
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 If you guys don't know what he's referencing in one of his JP missions briefings, he talks about how him and a 6-man team went into an underground system and they found basically a giant's tomb that still had the giant in it. That's
Yeah.
what he's referencing. Yeah.
And it was open. You could see. I did not see no symbols, Rion. Uh,
Okay.
what we saw, he had a massive cane,
Mm-hmm.
but it looked like one of those Egyptian ones that
Mm-hmm.
curved out. He had jewelry on.
Mm-hmm.
His clothes was like was long, and his hand was like this, like if he was Like if he was dead, but he was not dead. They were
He was in
protecting him.
stasis. He's in stasis.
Stasis, the technology that they have, I think, with certain kind of elements that we haven't thought of yet, can put certain things in stasis and have like a shield to eliminate the time that is around. So if you're in there 1 hour, it can feel like 1,000 years. Or if you're there for 1,000 years, it can be a long time that you're there. And I'm sure certain ET races that are coming in our solar system with these ships have the same technology, and they're coming back home. Not too long ago, NASA just found 740 more, multiplying armada of objects coming in our solar system. This is right after Three Eye Atlas and Swan did their perihelion around the sun. So now they're finding out more objects similar with the same readings are coming in our solar system, and they're already registering that. So I think something is going to happen. That
Yep.
these giants, they're already awakened. I think for me, they're already awakened,
Mm-hmm.
and they are in the inner earth and the inner oceans.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of these giants, and throughout history, I know people have talked about, certain giants that used to live among us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in Afghanistan, when we went over there, they found a race of giants
The
and
giant of
Marines.
Kandahar,
Yeah,
right?
the giant of Kandahar. A couple Marines went over there and it stunk like shit.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't feel the stench. I think it was the same species that I think the Indians killed in
Mm-hmm.
a cave in North America, of these red-haired giants. But in the Bible, it talks about the Moabitas, the Moab. So you can clearly why we built a bomb that is called the Moab. All right.
Oh
And
wow.
the biggest bomb that we have that is called the Moab is we shot it in where? Afghanistan. Okay. So it was a message to these giants to stop messing around with us, because they were coming out killing all the Marines, all these army people,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going back into their caves. And we just bombed the shit out of them because they were not behaving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we name a bomb after them. If the history of the bomb is called the Moab, that it signifies the Moabitas, and then the Nephilims and the giants come. If you read the Bible, it comes from the
Mm-hmm.
land of Moab,
Right.
the Moabitas. So it's really, really crazy how you really have to get into the books, like you said, and get into the
Right.
history of why we do things in the background. Now we have this incident that's happening with Venezuela, right?
Mm-hmm.
They found ancient ruins in the south part of Venezuela, similar to what they found under the freaking pyramids of Egypt. All right.
Whoa. Well, hey, dude, tell. I know you talked about that little briefly. Tell the audience what they found in Venezuela.
Well, yeah, they found ancient structures in the south part of Venezuela that is similar to Egypt, what they found in Egypt. And apparently the Venezuelan says, no, nobody's going in there, but we're going to go in there regardless. And the people need to know the past of the history of what happened to humanity. So the I think this administration is really, really shooting for disclosure. We're really shooting for disclosure. We want to change this mindset that everybody's on. And lately we had what, the king of we got that big deal with the king of, what's his name? Um, you know what I'm talking about. It was all over the news. I even posted it in my
Yeah,
story.
of Saudi, of the House of Saud, Saudi Arabia, the
Yeah,
prince. Yeah,
$1 trillion deal. Why the
yeah,
hell
yeah.
we're doing a $1 trillion deal with the Saudi king? Because over there, they're also finding similar ruins. And when they go into these ruins, what language they're finding? Their language. These Buga
Ah,
tigers and all that crap, what language they're finding? The language from India, ancient Sanskrit.
right.
So there's a connection with all these ancient ruins and Saudi Arabia. So something is going on that Saudi
Mhm.
Arabia got our back. They want their stuff, their gold,
Right. Oh my
shit
gosh.
ton of gold, and Venezuela don't want to give something that is on their land, but it's under their land and it's part of Saudi. So there's a lot of things going on.
Dude, that's a good.
I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble by saying this.
No. Listen, hey, that's good. Hey, listen, we're already saying more than 80%, so let's just calm down with everything out. They hide us. You can't hide the light, baby. It's coming for you.
We're saying 10% of what's happening.
Yes.
So, and then on top of that, we got these ancient arcs that are floating in between Puerto Rico and Venezuela. And we have all this buildup by the south of Puerto Rico because they're finding ruins in the south part of the deepest part of Puerto Rico. And something is about to occur that is going to show people, these are real people living in our oceans. And our biggest assets, okay, I'm going to tell you this, our biggest assets that the United States have in the military is in our oceans. So I just want to let people know that.
Oh, really?
The biggest assets that we have, it's inside our oceans. Okay. I'll leave it.
Well, dude, hey, listen. Well, I think 2026 is going to be amazing. I know that Rise of the Guardians, and I would like to do this officially here from coast to coast. JP will be speaking at Rise of the Guardians.
Let's go.
May 8th through the 10th, 2026. Make sure you guys take advantage of the Black Friday sale going on right now on TeamLightStore.com to get your tickets. It's on. No, okay. Listen, I'm just telling you guys, the amount of data that I'm being forced to process in some of us is not, there's something coming, and they want to make sure that some of you guys that are ground crew have your questions answered, your T's crossed and your I's dotted before we have full-blown contact, because some of our jobs are going to be to calm down the population and translate what's happening. So I want you guys to know that it's very important for you guys to stay in your heart in the higher vibrations, because as we know, if you let the other polarity, the doubt, the fear, the paranoia, the matrix programming get a hold of you, we have seen a lot of people in the disclosure community kind of go that route, and then they actually turn into the anti-disclosure or a distorted version of disclosure, which actually confuses and can hurt a lot of people. So I just want to be real with you guys. Don't repeat anything that doesn't feel good in your heart. Use discernment with everything. And even as this new data stuff comes out, it's really important that each and every one of you guys utilizes your own, your own skill set, your own heart, your own consciousness to process the information. And I think the speed is just going to keep picking up. What do you think?
Bro, I just got like three cop cars right in front of my house right now.
Well, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, what do we let you go handle that?
I don't know.
Well, listen, I had 3 Cobras.
I'm not an immigrant, so
yeah, I had 3 Cobras fly over my house yesterday, and at under 500 feet, looking at me through the window, and I was like, I had like Yoda ears on, and I was like, "Yes, sir, checking in for Galactic Command." You know what I mean? Man. So, all right. So I hope that's all. They're coming for your. There's probably one of your neighbors. They're coming to
maybe it's one of my neighbors.
One of your neighbors, yeah. But with that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here today. JP, I love you, bro. More awesome disclosure things coming, to a neighborhood near you. You guys get your tickets. Check out the sales that are going on right now in TeamLight Store. We have all new alchemy for you guys. This year's lowest prices are happening right now. Okay.
And also, I just want to let this information out. We might be doing a webinar as well. So
yeah, I was just going to mention that me and JP are going to be doing a webinar. Give us some time. We'll make posts and we will promote that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be doing a webinar because I know a lot of you guys have insights, questions that we can do in a more like interactive way. And we'd love to do that for you guys. So with that, my brother, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on TeamLight interviews. And for everyone out there, be safe. And JP, brother, we got this. All right, you guys. I love you. Till next time.
JP out.
Peace.